Hey everybody, Eric Foxman, Balanced Personal Training, and today I'm going to share with you some exercises that you can do that'll improve strength in your core and your postural muscles using the stability ball or the Swiss ball. And the Swiss ball is a real great tool to use. Now, just to kind of clarify, when I talk about your core, it's not just your stomach, but it also has to do with your hips, upper thighs, low back. Those are really what make up your core. So when people say, do you have a strong core? It's kind of like, here to here. And the other part I talked about is postural muscles. And postural muscles are like your paraspinals or your erectors that keep your back straight. I mean, it's basically all the muscles that keep you from slumping over when you're at your desk or if you're standing for a period of time. I mean, if you see people and they're all slouched like that, well, it's a combination of weakness and tightness. They're tight in their pecs and they're weak in their rhomboids. So there's going to be some exercises I'm going to show you where you can strengthen those. So let's just start by having you sit on the ball. Okay, and if you've never sat on a stability ball before, it can be a little bit unstable. Okay, stability. And so before you even do anything, just get yourself moving around. And the goal is not to remain motionless, but just to be under your control. And once you feel a little bit centered, the first thing I'm going to have you do is keeping both feet on the ground, and I just want you to lift one leg up. And at first you might go, whoa, I'm going to fall. And that's fine, because what you're doing is you're rewiring what's going on from your brain to your muscles, muscles to your brain. And you're going to be recruiting muscle fibers that you probably haven't used before. And so I'm just holding my leg up here. If there's a little bit of shifting or movement in the hips, that's fine. And then I'm going to put that down and I'm going to lift the other leg up. Okay? And just repeat. So while I'm doing this, I'm working a lot of my abs, a lot of low back, middle back, quad, hip flexor, and muscles on this leg too. And you can do it, keeping a knee up. You can do it with the knee extended. It's kind of up to you. And then to kind of evolve it, what you could do is, if you're confident enough, pick both feet up off. Usually I like to put one heel on the ball and then extend the other one. So you've got a little bit more higher level of risk, but there's more activity. Muscles are firing that you haven't had fire before, and just holding it out there. And then you're going to switch. And again, a few seconds. One of the keys to maintaining your balance is making sure that you stay relaxed. My hands are very relaxed, my shoulders are relaxed, and most importantly is I'm breathing in and out just as long as I'm not holding my breath, because when you hold your breath, you tighten up, your center of gravity usually goes up, and then you become more tippy. So those are a couple things that you can do to start. Again, just lifting a leg up doesn't have to be super high. It could be maybe an inch off the ground. And you're getting movement and all these things going on here. And then working your way up to doing, one leg and then doing the other leg. And then if you feel like you want to join the circus, you do a little bit of these things and you're like, ah! So that's one of the great things right there. Another exercise you could do are doing pelvic tilts and extensions. And so I'll probably have to sit sideways to show you. So this, I'll say, is neutral. And then if I stick my rear out, now I'm extending my low back. And then if I do a tilt, and then I extend, and then I tilt. And I like to keep my hands on my stomach, because as I am tilting, it's not coming out of the knees, but as I tilt, my ab muscles are shortening and my pelvis is rotating. That's why they call it a pelvic tilt. So you can practice those things. And then the last one is kneeling and balancing. Now, I'm not going to be standing on the ball. I don't believe in that super high risk stuff just to impress you guys. And the return on investment of balancing on a ball with your feet rolling an ankle, hitting your head on the floor, it's really not worth it. If you want to improve your balance while standing, you can stand on a Bosu, you can just stand on the floor, you could stand on one of those foam pads, but other than looking really cool, practically speaking, standing on a stability ball doesn't really benefit you. So I'm going to wedge the ball kind of into my shins and knees, and then I roll myself forward, keeping my hands on the ball. And what I do is I actually steer myself with the tops of my feet, and I'm on my knees and my shins, okay? If I just go just on my knees and I'm only on those 2 points, there's a higher chance that I'm going to roll off. So, you know, you can be tall, you can be down here, and then you're on, you know, hands and knees and shins, that's fine. Is one better than the other? No, because there's a lot of activity going on here in my neck, in my back. Often I like to just hold my arms out and then pull my shoulder blades back. And I might hold this for a couple of minutes, breathing, and I can feel my shoulder blades engage, I can feel my core engage. Sometimes I'm just stretching, you know. It's like, well, stretching is going to be kind of boring anyways. I might as well, you know, stretch while I'm on the ball, and other things are working and other things are firing. It's actually a really nice distraction. And this is something I build into my routine. So every time I exercise, usually after I do my cardio and calisthenics and other things, I don't want to save core and hips and low back to the end of my workout when I'm tired. I like to build it into my routine. And so sometimes I do this, I don't know, I might do it for a few minutes just kneeling. You know, and if I need a break, I just put my hands back down. If I want to go into some knee tucks where I put my hands on the floor and I draw my knees into the chest, that's fine. And, you know, other times I might try to intentionally, you know, move myself from side to side. And I'm getting a lot of activity, a lot of work without having to do basic crunches and hurt my neck or my back. I get more isometric type of activity.